What's up, Giants Nation? One Giant Rebuttal here, back with another video. And obviously, we're going to be rebutting Ron Effect. Now, I'm not going to go crazy in this one because some things I agree on, some things I don't. But obviously, everybody heard the sad news of Landon Collins. I first want to start off by saying I've enjoyed Landon Collins as a Giant. I don't think he's coming back next year, but I'll lay on that further in a video. But I do enjoy Landon Collins. I do like everything he's given to this organization. But with no further ado, let's get into it.
Landon Collins.
And I started about 24 seconds in.
As you know, in the victory over the Bears on Sunday, Landon Collins got injured. He has injured his shoulder. He did not come back into the game. So, yeah, with injuring his shoulder, he's going to have surgery on it. I'm not sure if exactly like fractured or whatever it is, but he's going to have surgery on it, most likely going down next week, but he's out for the season. Now, he's had injury problems before. Last year, I think it was, his forearm, which he also had surgery on, and then come into the season 100% healthy. Now he's re-injured again. I've said this constantly. I said this many times, guys, constantly. I hate injuries, no matter if it's like, a bunch of injuries that are hurting a team or just injuries can suck. Can suck for a player, the fans, because for the Giants, the situation we have now is for Landon Collins. Other guys are gonna have to step up. I'm gonna talk about that on Friday's video, the preview video. But Landon Collins being out for the season, also he's a free agent in March. So this might be a reach. I could be wrong, but we might have just seen Landon Collins play his last game for the Giants. Like, I hate to say it too.
To elaborate a little bit more than Ron. Now, injuries suck, and I don't like to see Landon injured. I don't think anybody's rooting for anybody to get injured. But, the reality situation is Ron says he is a free agent, which he is. But I don't think the Giants were going to re-sign him anyways, or I don't think the Giants should re-sign him because he's a liability in coverage. He hasn't been able. He's gotten burned by Cohen. He's gotten burned by Ertz. He's gotten burned by Kittle. Any quality tight end out there, or, high-end tight end, he's getting burned by. And that doesn't warrant top safety pay, and it is what it is. I mean, it's a little cruel, especially now that the dude's injured. But I just want to put that out there. Like, I don't mind re-signing Landon Collins, but it won't be for top safety money. And he did mention before the Odell deal last year that he did want top safety money. But, again, I hope he comes back healthy, and we'll see what is what in April or in the offseason if he's still a Giant. Let's continue on.
Because I like Landon. I like Landon, love having him on the team, the humble, he's a team captain, so the players, appreciate him very much too. And, I've supported Landon, a lot. I bought T-shirts and rubber bracelets off his site from last year or 2 years ago whenever I bought them. Yeah, man, and I was excited to see him come back from injury, hoping that he's going to be better than before. He hasn't been as great this season and last season because, he's not the Landon Collins from 2016. A lot of people forget that he was runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. And who did he lose it to? Khalil Mack. So, but which was well-deserved, so congratulations to Khalil Mack. He's doing his thing. But, so yeah, drafted in 2015 in the first round out of Alabama. An Alabama player, you know what they do. So 2015 to 2016, having a great year.
I just want to make a correction. He said first round. It's really second round. But we'll continue on.
Defensive player, runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. And then 2017 was a little bit shaky. And then now he's back again. And then, it's like injuries holding him back. So he makes his plays. Don't get me wrong. He makes his plays. Defensive wise, there has come times,
When Ron says that injuries have held him back, it's a yes or no answer. Because yes, he's missed the games, but no, it's not like it's a nagging injury. It's like an ankle or, a knee or a thigh or some lower leg injury that's really affecting him, affecting his play, meaning he can't run or tackle. He can. Obviously he injured his shoulder on some bang play or whatever it was. Last year, he broke his forearm or had something wrong with his forearm. So injuries haven't held him back. He just hasn't been as good as he was in 2016. And, and that's just the reality of the situation. Let's continue on.
In the season where plays were missed or out of position, but just that he plays with fire and passion. You know what I'm saying? All players make their mistakes or have their screw-ups, but they also have their good plays too. I'm not going to ignore the good plays that he's made. For the trades, like, back in, what was it? Like before the trade deadline, I forget the exact date, but there was rumors that the Giants got offers for Landon, or they were at least looking for at least a round 2 or round 3 2019 draft pick, and I think one of the teams was the Bucks. I'm not sure if that was one, because there was a lot of, Snacks going to the Lions, Eli Apple to the Saints, offers for Odell, obviously. Who else? Like, we had this whole talk about, it's a business, this and the other. The jokes came out, fire sale, And yeah, it was highly thought that Landon Collins was going to be someone traded as well, which I didn't want to see. Maybe that was like my emotion getting into it, because as a fan of a team, guys, like, we all know this. There are players that we all get more emotionally attached to, because it is a business, though. Players come and go. Every year, a player will join a team, and then, they might not even make it out of training camp. Or, they'll get traded mid-season. But some players, like, if they've been around for a long time, we get an emotional attachment to them, or we want to see them forever. I think I probably even said before, I want to see Landon be a Giant forever. But looks like I might not get that wish, or other people might not get that wish. But, yeah, so, yeah, we're going to have to wait. Only time will tell. So he's going to be a free agent in March. He's injured right now, so he's not coming back for the season. He'll be a free agent in March. We talk about, will they franchise tag him, this and other. But, yeah, bro, it being injury prone, too, is like, I don't want that to affect him. He's going to come back. He's going to be in the league. Don't think that, his career's over, this and the other. I'm pretty sure another team's going to pick him up if the Giants don't re-sign him. So that's the only thing that's going to be on my mind. It's not going to bother me too much.
All right, so I'm going to stop him there because he touches on a couple things. He is right. As fans, we do get emotionally attached to players. For me, it was Michael Strahan. But here, this is, as a fan, I've changed. Now, I'm not saying I still don't get emotionally attached to players. I'm emotionally attached to Saquon Barkley. I'm a Penn State fan, so I rooted for Saquon Barkley. But he is right. Landon, for me, is not one of those players. I have no problem seeing him go. And maybe if you want to look at me as an evil or a bad fan, no. I just don't believe he's the right fit for the scheme or whatnot. He just hasn't been the player that he showed in 2016. And I'm not saying he can't regain that. He just hasn't showed that with the Giants. And I think it's time for him to move on, because he's not warranted the extension or the money he wants or the money he was talking about. He's made great plays, absolutely. I mean, the dude's a beast in the run game. Goal line stuffs, being able to read maybe a screen out of the backfield, something like that. He's a beast. But when it comes to coverage, he's one-on-one with that dude. Liability. And I think you're better suited with going with somebody who can fit that role on your team. So let's continue on.
But definitely when, that area, when March comes, April, we're going.
Oh, and I forgot to also add, he did say that, he will be picked up by the other team. Oh, Landon Collins will definitely be in this league. He's talented enough that he's going to play for another team. And maybe the team will make it rain on him. I don't know. But the money he was talking about last offseason before this one, it's not realistic for a strong safety. So let's continue on.
We're going to talk about it. But yeah, man. I know injuries happen, but I didn't think it would be like to this, in this situation too, to where, he's out for the season, and then also, he's going to be a free agent. So yeah, best of luck to Landon. Hope he'll still be around. Hope the surgery goes well. I just want to see him do good, whether he's a Giant, again next season or whatever. I hope that he still does well. Like, I'm not like that. I'm not going to be like, he ain't a Giant no more. Well, F it. Like, no, definitely not going to be that. Definitely not going to be that. Because I know he plays his heart out for the Giants every time he's on that field. So, anyways, you guys tell me how you feel about this. I already know what's coming. I know how some people feel because.
So, I wanted to end the video a little bit differently. I wanted to tell you guys a story. So, in 1997, Giants lose to the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. And I'm sitting there, and I see Giants players smiling and, shaking the hand of, Minnesota Viking players for good game, and that's sportsmanship. But I see some of them smiling after a loss, and I'm sitting here pissed off. And you're like, Jeff, how does this possibly tie into Landon Collins? Pretty easy. I don't get emotionally attached to players that often. Now, I've admitted being emotionally attached to Saquon, but I've watched him since he was in Penn State, and I saw a couple of his games when he was at Whitehall in high school. But you're like, well, again, how does this tie into Landon Collins? It's because I don't believe in getting emotionally attached to players. Like, I like them when they're here. I'll root for them when they're on the field. But if they lose their job to injury or, they get moved to another team, it is what it is. I believe the GM thought they weren't part of this. And I don't, as a Giants fan, I just don't foresee Landon being part of this team anymore. And now I might be wrong. And if he gets re-signed, I'm not going to be totally disappointed. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's such a bad thing. It just depends what the signing is for, how much money. If they're paying him like a top safety, he's not. Now, can he come into the box and make a ruckus? Absolutely. But you need more than just that from your safety. And I appreciate everything he's done. That being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Again, if you like what you saw from Ron Effect, please, by all means, go check his channel out as well. He does very well with the Giant content he produces. This is One Giant Rebuttal signing off, and go Big Blue!